What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Red Dragon Archive, and good evening. As the month of February wind up, rolling up on us slowly but surely here, it is January 27th, and yeah, I think everybody would need to hear something like this. Once again, we out of the Matrix over here, so it's gonna come from one of these red pill type of things, but yeah, as the month of February roll up on us and relationships is a thing or finding love is a thing, I think it's time, we talk about something like this. So we'll be right back after these messages.
What's your name?
Mayowa.
Mayowa, how old are you?
I am 32.
32.
I am a business owner of 7 years. I'm a lash instructor.
Okay. Name and age and why you ended up popping.
Yeah, Priest, 33. Hey, you look like a black Barbie doll.
Thank you.
I ain't got enough money to afford you.
What do you mean by that?
Woo.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, I go broke. And have to file for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. Boy, I need 4-5 jobs to make you happy. Boy, you got some pretty toes, too? Yeah, nah.
When the nerd came up to the girl in high school, she was like, no, I don't want you. And then once she became a baby mama, he was a CEO, executive, and all that. And she like, hey, you remember me? He said, no, I don't want you. I be feeling like, respectfully, y'all is the grown-up versions of the niggas that got hurt in high school while we was out fucking with the drug dealers. Let me tell you something. We were victims then making horrible-ass decisions with grown-ass niggas preying on us. Y'all gotta let that shit go.
Yes. So where do we start? My main thing is this. Once again, as always, we deal with the esoteric over here, so we cannot get caught up in a male versus female type of thing when it comes to certain things. So let me make that clear. Certain things is not especially shit like this. It's not a women do this or men do this. Both parties really do it. Maybe something different, like I stated before. There's some things that men do that women do, but it's different because a woman is a woman and a man is a man, but it's literally the same exact thing. So I want to comment on the first thing, a part of the first video with the man pretty much saying like, he can't afford the woman. He just off rip let her know like, look, you look like you high maintenance, you cost too much, blase blase. Now, I'm the type of male that does this on a daily basis. As a single man, I look at women all the time and I'll be like, I'm not in a position to really deal with a woman that would want blase blah 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 blah. I'm still in a position where I want to, I'm working on myself. I want to chase what I want to chase. I'm not into trying to go kill myself in a factory or any job just for the simple fact of making, a woman happy. I would prefer to make me happy and chase my dreams stress-free, if that makes sense. But once again, also I feel like women might have to deal with the same type of shit depending on what type of woman it is. A woman, I'm a man out of the Matrix, by the way. So a woman out of the Matrix will understand exactly what I'm saying, because I feel women would go through this same type of thing too. I'm not sure how women in general would value men, but I would feel like a woman that's outside of the Matrix just might be like, she don't care about a dude, finances, as long as he's not a leech and he has a plan and he's trying to, better himself. I think those type of women will still run into this type of thing because they would run into men that's in the Matrix as well. They need a woman that's gonna cook, clean, da 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 da, but she might want to, focus on what she want to focus on, but also she wouldn't mind making her partner happy. The same thing as the men that's out of the Matrix. We wouldn't mind making our partner happy. It's not like we wouldn't do it, but at what cost does it has to happen right there on the spot? If you can't wait until I build or get to where I want to get to in order for us to be at a certain point where maybe I can do that, then fine. By all means, go ahead about your business. Go find Mr. Got it right now, because we building over here. But my main thing is this, so we're going to take it to the next woman, because this brings me up to my next point. So the next woman in the next video, obviously she brings up the simple fact that, hey, I feel like she's claimed respectfully, these are the same dudes that would be hurt by women in school that got, that was probably most likely nerds or men that wasn't of taste to the popular women or women with some type of, a attraction to, or being able to attract a lot of men. These type of women that was in school, they were able to turn down the men that they didn't find attractive, but then turn around and say, since they older and grown now and are baby mamas or have children with other dudes that they no longer with, she's able to turn around and then say they need to get over the fact that they wasn't chosen in school, that that these men should choose them. See, I also feel like that's not a thing. That's not right. I feel like a man has every single right to be like, hey, you ain't choose me in school, or you ain't choose me whenever. Fuck school. You didn't choose me whenever. And it's the same thing. Those dudes in school wasn't at where she just said she was dealing with drug dealers, or these type of women was dealing with drug dealers. Obviously, they more established. They got money. They can just razzle dazzle right off the rip. Dudes are still in school. Obviously, they still doing they day-to-day teenage to young adult shit, maybe playing video games. Obviously working towards serious things, but let's face it, sometimes you in school, you're not taking everything serious before you get to a full adult age. So yeah, you still might be playing video games, you might be spending time doing sports, watching sports, and you taking real life on easy mode. But then that brushes you off from the women or the girls that's attractive enough for, that you would want to be with, but they don't want you because you don't have X amount or whatever. But guess what? That's okay. Because don't worry, I got something for dudes. Once again, this is out of the matrix thinking. I feel like those dudes should be able to be like, okay, I was a nerd in school. I did like my animes, this and the third. I'm a hybrid, by the way, but I would go into that another time. I was a little bit of both. But if you a nerd, by the way, and you want to, spaz out on your comic books or your, watching your anime, your DC, your Marvel, your superheroes, or you in your video games, or you in your role-playing RPG games, and you in your card games, your Yu-Gi-Oh, your Pokemon games, your Digimon, whatever, and these women that you was attracted to didn't want you, but now they want you because you somebody in life, or you did made it, somewhere where you are more established. I feel like, yes, you should be able to be like, yeah, fuck you, or I don't want you. Go, hey, you was dealing with dudes that just want to smash, shoot your club up. I mean, you have a baby and they was going to keep it pushing anyway to the next better little tight thing come around so they can bust them down too. That's the way the game goes for the people that's in the Matrix. I say people because there's men and women in the Matrix. Now, mind you, we got to pause and rewind back a little bit because I feel like this don't get spoke about enough. Mind you, we are talking about men right now, but I guarantee there are women that also go through the same thing, maybe not on a bigger scale, because right now we talking about surface level shit. We just talking about sex. Technically, we talking about sex and finding a mate younger, and that's usually where this type of talk come from for men. Obviously, on women, even if a woman is a nerd or she's not as popular, or she's just whatever, a woman can have whatever interest, men are still going to be interested in her in general. That's in general. As long as she's attractive enough, men don't really typically care whether you like Pokemon cards or you just want to be on some sexy red shit and you all about the the gang life or the street life, and you at Magic City twerking it up, or you in a library somewhere quiet as hell with a robe on. At the end of the day, men in general, if you attractive women, they gonna like you. But my thing is this is the curse I do say to men, because men don't get to hear this enough, and I do know this is what really happens. The same men that bitch and complain and cry and, oh, these women ain't pick me in school, or I was a nerd, and these women, they want me, or they gonna deal with the Pookies and the Ray Rays and Bro, ain't you the same dude that was turning down a nice, quiet little librarian girl in school? Most of the time, yes, because they are also getting skipped past up upon that they not wearing revealing clothing. Now, I will say this. Their experience might be a pinch different, because some of them quiet girls, or, the nerdy women, they might actually still have a chance to sleep with dudes from the streets just in general, because of if they're attractive enough. Meanwhile, it's nobody's fault that you as a man, women that's dealing in street life, the sexy red types, of course, because let's face it, these dudes don't admit that they do not want the women that are just simply not as revealing, not as hip, not as they can't dance, they not twerking. That's comes from this is all of a lust thing at the end of the day. Men do not like to really admit that y'all wasn't into the librarian girl, girls either. The girls that 100% on the books, y'all wasn't finding them attractive either. The women that wore fucking clothes head to toe, y'all wasn't attracted to them women either. Let's throw this on there. Women that wore clothes head to toe and also didn't have a body, they either overweight or underweight, you definitely wasn't checking for them. How could y'all then come out of school or whatever and blame the women that did have nice bodies, whatever the case may be, and that what you was attracted to, and you then be upset with them because they looked at you as the dude that didn't have what they would want? And that's what that is. That's why I do not like this argument in general when it comes to the fake red pill shit that they be spewing out, because they be acting like, oh yeah, it's female nature to want bad boys and pookies and ray rays. No, let's call a spade a fucking spade. Y'all not seeing the real shit. Women want what the fuck they want. That's simple as that. I don't see nothing wrong if they want a bad dude or a dude that's 6 foot, whatever the case may be. That's on them. That's their attraction. The same way how there's a lot of men that want fat booty women and women that's tight and in shape, but also they got a certain vibe about the woman and she just all this kind of shit and she looks good. Dudes want women like that. Nobody talk about that's the equivalent. The women is curving the dudes. That's the equivalent to the nerdy ass women, or the women that are either out of shape, or they underweight and they wear clothes head to toe. They really not attractive women, but guess what? They are considered good women based off of how they would treat you. They're not gonna cheat. Their morals is intact. They're not tempted as much at the end of the day. Once again, every now and then, one of those type of girls might get a dude that's from the streets or some shit like that, or a dude that might be quote unquote out of her league, a dude that might be a little bit of athletic, and he might look around and be like, hey, as long as don't nobody see me stab out on this girl or know that I stabbed out on her, got some top from her or whatever, he's gonna indulge because he can probably see through the clothes. She is a little attractive. She might have a little bit of body. We not talking about that. So that's why I say out of the Matrix, men and women do the same shit. But the red pill, these type of videos, the red pill will have you thinking this is just what women, it's a woman's woman. No, this is a human dynamic. And at the end of the day, dudes don't get enough flack for not choosing the good women in school either. Y'all want to talk to all these women that is quote unquote chose wrong, but bro, you wouldn't be talking about these if you was looking past those type of women and past the sexy red types and past the ones wearing the booty shorts, the leggings and shit like that. If you was looking past them and you was actually paying attention to the women based off their character, motherfucker, you wouldn't be where you at right now today either. You wouldn't be Mr. CEO or Mr. whatever over the company, and then you out here still looking for women that would never chose you. That's the point. Y'all like to say women don't choose good dudes. Dudes don't choose good women either. Everybody want the bad type. You want the bad girl, or what they call the bad bitch, and then women want the bad boys. And from what I'm seeing, my personal opinion is this. It's always been this and always will be this. I don't see nothing wrong with that. Because women gotta be attracted to hard characteristics, masculine characteristics. Some of the bad boy images, that's just masculine as fuck. That's just what it is. You can't get mad at a dude that's might be, even though he a gang member or whatever case may be, but he still carry himself with a certain type of, you not about to fuck him over, and that also makes sure that his woman is safe. The same way with the women that might be like the sexy red type, they gonna wear their booty shorts, they gonna be able to twerk, they gonna be able to dance. You understand as a man, like, that's somebody when I'm in the bed where she gonna do what they do. And she's also carry herself with a certain type, like, hey, this is my dude, I'ma fuck with him regard, from what it seemed like, if you can lock that in. That's just what that is. No women want a little docile, weak dude, and that's fair. Just the same way no dude really want an out of shape or underweight ass woman that's just not attractive. You got good dudes with good characteristics, good women with good characteristics. They're not being chose in school based off what they look like. And we talking about an immature level in high school where a lot of people ain't checking for your character 100%, which we understand you got to build up to that. But yeah, this is where it gets deep at, and we have to really go against the grain and really call this shit out. But that's all I'm gonna speak about on this topic. We will go into deeper topics. Don't forget we got the more esoteric shit popping up. If y'all want to fuck around with the podcast, it's Arch Dragon XIX Podcast on Spotify. If y'all want to fuck with that. And yeah, man, we gotta call out this shit the way it really is. Motherfuckers just don't want to keep it real with themselves. I'm calling out the men based off this red pill, fake ass red pill shit. That's we not in the matrix over here. It's a man and women thing. They do the same shit. And these videos, if you don't take shells from this message, these videos will have you thinking that this is quote unquote female's nature to become out here, fuck with bad boys, and become baby mamas. At the end of the day, not saying that's not a lot of women, but also what's not a lot of men, what a lot of men ain't doing is choosing the women that's also not those type of women. And that's on the fucking man. That's on who the fuck you choosing, bro. That's what you into. You into women with cheeks and got tight bodies and tight stomachs, etc., etc. Call a goddamn spade a spade. You not into good girls, because most good girls, if they is good in characteristics, we just talking about most on the daily, they're not the standard of beauty or sexual type of women that you are looking forward to. And then we have hybrids like myself, which would be a whole nother video where you got women that's definitely doing both. There's men that definitely does both. You got a motherfucker that's Future in the daytime and a motherfucking Scholar at nighttime. That's like my type. But then you know, that's who I am as a man. And then you got women that's also a sexy red type, Megan Thee Stallion, Cardi B type in the daytime. But hey, you know what? At nighttime, she a whole fucking librarian. She really ain't doing shit. She like that shit, you know, it sound good. She can listen to the music, twerk to da-da-da, but she's not taking them actions serious in her own life. With that being said, we'll be back in the next video, man. It's Red Dragon XIX on deck. And yeah, if y'all fuck around with the podcast, once again, Arch Dragon XIX Podcast on Spotify, and I'll catch y'all next one, man. Stay tuned, stay locked. Oh yeah, don't forget, if y'all hit the like button, most definitely appreciate it. It's Red Dragon XIX. I'm out 30, man.